Non-Guru explains how I built a six-figure faceless YouTube channel, and by the way, this still works in 2025. Now, as you guys can see, I've got my 1 mil subscriber plaque there, my 100K, and my 10 mil that just recently came. But in case you want a little bit more validation about who I am, let me go ahead and show you one of my many channels. Now, this is one of the channels we ran back in 2021. It is quite dead now. It only does a couple $1,000s a month, I believe, if we go ahead and press last 28 days, only about $1,300 a month. But of course, if I go ahead and click lifetime, if I was to go down to settings, you guys can see the currency is of course Australian dollars, which is where I'm based. So in USD, this would probably be about $300,000 give or take. Now I want to emphasize I don't own that channel. It is owned with a partner, but I'm not trying to flex on you. The reason I'm showing you this is to kind of build that trust between each other. So you know what I'm about to tell you genuinely works. And once again, guys, this isn't financial advice. It's simply my opinion on some super optimized and promising niches that if I was a beginner, I would definitely recommend getting into. Let's get right into it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, this is going to be a completely free, exact one-for-one framework guide on how to identify a profitable YouTube niche, execute on it, and scale it. Now guys, before we get into it, if you want to go ahead and join my free public Discord server, it's discord.gg/1%. It's honestly just a really cool place where we can all kind of connect and share results. But let's get straight into the video. Now guys, first things first, when you're kind of choosing to start a brand new faceless channel is of course choosing your industry. Now, as of right now, there are about 3 things to choose from, and I'm going to go into depth and kind of dissect every single one of them. So of course, the first one being short form. Now, I'm sure the majority of you guys are kind of familiar with short form. A lot of big YouTubers kind of tap on it, you know, Daniel Baton, Musa, all these types of people. But in my opinion, shorts is not the future. It is dying out. And you might say, well, yes, you can make 10, 5K a month with shorts. Yes, you most certainly can. But in my opinion, it is somewhat gimmicky, and I prefer long form and ultra long form, which I'm going to go ahead and get more into later. But yes, when identifying your niche, of course, go ahead and choose which sub niche and genre you're going to be into first. Now, of course, short form, an example of a channel like this would be Zach D Films. These guys make millions of dollars. It is a prime example, but of course, you can't go into this expecting to be pulling numbers like Zach D Films. If we go ahead and check his view stats profile, he is of course printing money. 2.4 billion shorts views just this month. If we go ahead and presume an RPM of about 20 cents, he is genuinely making over $500,000 a month in pure ad revenue. Now, another factor as to why shorts are kind of dying out, in my opinion, in the sense of monetization, is of course Blast Off Media, all these other shorts companies and the music deals that used to come with them being completely wiped away. Now, your next option is of course long form. Of course, this is the bread and butter of YouTube and arguably the hardest one to get into. But you know, once again, it has the most longevity, as the average person would say. But as you're about to realize, I honestly have a different opinion. Now, an example of a long form channel would be something like this. Bound. He posts pretty high quality 2D animation type content. Why it sucks to be born as a Goliath bird eater. Why it sucks to be born as an opossum. This guy is absolutely printing 2.7 mil long form views this month. RPM is probably about $5. So on this one channel, he's making about $13,500 every single month. Now, of course, we get to the bread and butter, and in my opinion, the most profitable kind of sub niche and genre on YouTube as a whole at the moment. And that is of course ultra long form. Now, the gap and the separation I would kind of say is if your content is over 45 minutes, I'd say you can kind of justify it and call it ultra long form, though anything below an hour is really just regular long form. Now, you might be saying, well, what makes ultra long form so much more valuable than long form? And why am I kind of focusing on this as someone who makes a lot of money on YouTube automation? And it's because of a few factors. First things first, YouTube is actively pushing ultra long videos. The main demographic to this type of content is, first of all, quite old people. And secondly, people that are using this content to fall asleep. This guy's Space DOS. You might look at this channel and think, well, he's only getting a few thousand views a video. He's not making much money at all. Now, you couldn't be further from the truth. Now, yes, he's only pulling in 500,000 views a month, but on this channel, his RPM is $30, which is obviously means he's printing $15,000 a month on this channel that takes 0 time to run. Another reason why I kind of value ultra long form niches over long form, and why I'm actively pushing all of my clients inside my program, actually every single person I work with to kind of do ultra long form, is because you can automate this content with AI. It's a lot more hands off. It's way more scalable. This is by far the easiest way to make money on YouTube automation, in my opinion, in 2025. Now, of course, once you've chosen your style, the next kind of thing comes to play. And guys, really quick, if you want to go ahead and work directly with me and myself and my team, you can go ahead and fill out and book a call on start.innovault.co. This is my personal program where I work directly with you. It is completely free to book a public call if you want to have a call with me directly, and we'll see if you're a good fit and if we can make something happen. But yes, getting back into the point I'm trying to make, one of the biggest factors I would kind of say when choosing your niche and kind of getting into YouTube automation as as a whole in 2025 is, of course, choosing a niche with a first world demographic. Now, what do I necessarily mean by this? You can get into niches that are in Spanish, that are in Italian, that are bilingual, but for the most part, I would always recommend doing an English-based niche, and that's one of the reasons why you'll see all of these ultra long form niches are kind of based in the English niche, as well as long form, as well as even short form. You might be saying, well, why? What makes this so much more valuable? And it ultimately comes down to the demographic. Demographic meaning the amount of viewers from which country. Now, if you're getting viewers that are based in India, in Pakistan, in countries such as that, the RPM, or aka how much you're getting paid per 1,000 views from YouTube, is going to be exponentially lower than if you were getting Australian, US, Dubai, Sweden, kind of first world country viewers. And that's not to have a go at third world countries whatsoever. Matter of fact, I think we need them to kind of keep YouTube going. But as a first world country, you want to make sure you are targeting an English-based demographic because advertisers are willing to spend so much more money on English-based viewers. That is why you see Indian channels and other type of language channels having such a low RPM comparatively to US-based channels. Just for reference, if we go ahead and look at this guy here, the storyteller, he is making a lot of money posting ultra long form content. You guys can see he does not get that many views, but this is one of the valuable things with ultra long form, right? You can only be getting 5,000 views a video. You have a loyal audience that watches every single one of your videos to fall asleep to. And if you're getting 5K views a video with a $30 RPM, which by the way, he has, every single video is making $150 a day, and it's completely stacking and completely passive. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be hating and saying he doesn't have a $30 RPM. Yes, he does. Matter of fact, it's probably about $40, seeing as we're getting into Q4, but he is pulling in 280,000 long form views a month on this channel. He is making $8,400 every single month. And FYI, this person only started about a year ago. Yes, as we can see, he literally started 1 year ago. If we go ahead and check his total views, he's got 9.3 mil views on this one channel. Go ahead and times that by 30, and this one channel has made $280,000 in the last year, and it is completely automatable with AI. It is essentially just a plain black screen with rain sounds and an AI voice. Uses AI to write the script, obviously ChatGPT using deep research to mimic the script style, and uses 11 Labs to do the voice. And as you guys can see, it is monetized. The RPM is definitely wrong. It is much higher, arguably more like $30 to even $40. Now, one of the valuable things about ultra long form as a whole is the fact that you can place an ad every 30 seconds and of course increase your RPM. The fact that these people are falling asleep to this content means that they're consistently watching ads without even realizing it. And of course, YouTube is actively pushing for this, right? There are a ton more people using TVs on YouTube as a whole than there ever were previously. And of course, people watch long videos on TVs, and every single brand new TV comes pre-installed with YouTube. So I only see that growing bigger as the time goes on. Now, next thing, of course, if you are going with long form, that is completely fine. Long form is the bread and butter of YouTube. An example of one of these would be the Amagi. He posts Naruto what ifs. I made a video a few days ago talking about exactly how to copy his script style one for one entirely with AI. Go ahead and check that out if you want. It's on my channel, I believe, 2 videos ago. But he posts videos that are like Naruto what ifs. What if Sasuke gave Naruto the Rinnegan? What if Naruto befriended Kurama? And he is absolutely pulling in views. Now, one of the crazy things about these channels in today's day and age is the fact that they can be automatable entirely with AI for the script, from the voice, absolutely everything. And the only manual type of labor you need to really pay for is, of course, the editing, which I'll get more into later. But of course, this guy is literally pulling in 11 million long form views every single month. And by the way, if we go ahead and check his recent videos and we check which videos are contributing to the most views over the last 24 hours, you will see another reason why I love ultra long form so much. You can see right here, even a video from 1 year ago is still getting 1.5 thousand views a day. And guess what? The best part, it is a 2-hour long video, meaning he would have a $15 RPM on this one video. So as I was saying, you can still do long form and merge ultra long form into these styles of content and just build up an evergreen long-term audience that prints money for the next 5 to even 10 years. And FYI, this one channel has made literally over $4 million in the time that it's been around, so keep that in mind. Now, one thing I always say is finding a niche where you can convert long form into ultra long form and ensure you have POC. Now, POC meaning proof of concept. For example, we know this guy, Three-Eyed Theorist. I've spoken about this guy before. I'm actually copying his channel on one of my other channels. And essentially what he posts is Game of Thrones lore videos. Like, what if Robb Stark married Daenerys? All these different kind of what if theories. And he is on the verge of being long form and ultra long form. As you can see, some of his videos are like 2 hours long, but the majority are like 40 minutes long. Now, what this means is we know this niche has proof of concept. The RPM is probably about $7 because he isn't going full ultra long form and is of course pulling in 1 million views a month. So he's making about $7,000 a month on this content that is 1 100% just AI. Now, one of the reasons why I'm saying this is if you do want to get into ultra long form and you're not too sure what niche to get into, you can find a long form niche with proof of concept, meaning it's already performing well. We know this kind of niche as a whole has a future on YouTube, and essentially convert that niche with that pre-existing audience into ultra long form. So essentially what I would do here is copy this exact style of content, but simply make the videos 2 to 3 hours long. And even if we're only getting, let's say 50% of his views, which would be 500,000, we've now taken the RPM from $7 to $30, which of course takes us from 7K all the way to $15,000. And that's once again being generous about the fact that his RPM is as low as I'm saying it is. Guys, ultra long form is effing insane. And if you aren't getting on this bandwagon, you are seriously missing out. I see so many people saying the RPM isn't $15, it's not $30. I promise you it is. Just give it a go and you will see exactly what I mean. Now, this is where it gets very, very, very important. In 2025, things have changed. You don't need to be spending money on a scriptwriter, on a voice actor, on a thumbnail design. It is not necessary. Limit human intervention as much as possible so you can expedite all these channels. If you're starting 5 faceless channels, if you're starting 3 faceless channels, try and keep the quality as high as possible whilst keeping your margins as high as possible. So don't be spending an insane amount on script writing. When you go into a channel and when you're automating it with capital, say, can I do this for a month without getting monetized? Can I make this type of content for a month straight without expecting results? If you cannot afford that, do not do the specific niche. So for example, we know for a fact we can automate script writing with deep research. You simply download their transcript, you put it into ChatGPT, you say replicate the script 1 for 1 in whatever style you might be doing. I've made many videos on this. It is insanely easy to copy script writing. We do not need to pay for that, and anyone doing that is completely out of business. Now, voice acting, as we all know, you can simply use 11 Labs, Fish Audio, whatever site it might be to expedite your voice acting process entirely. And of course, thumbnail design. Now, there are some certain niches where thumbnail designers are still required. Like for example, if you're making content similar to Internet Anarchist, chances are you will want to have somebody on Upwork or on Fiverr or whoever it might be, Creative Paradise, to kind of handle this thumbnail generation for you in ideation, because this is obviously a much higher quality and does depend more on CTR. But of course, in an ultra long form niche like what we've been speaking about in today's video, for example, the Amagi, whatever it might be, you can easily use vidIQ to generate your thumbnails with AI. And once again, it is entirely free. Let me go ahead and show you exactly what I mean. Like literally look at this. You guys know that channel I was talking about just before, Bound. I literally put in their URL of one of these videos and I said, replicate this, but for a mud skipper. And it made me a 2D animated thumbnail that is perfect for what we need. Guys, keep in mind, you can start an ultra long form channel for insanely cheap prices nowadays. Heck, you can handle the editing yourself or use my new software that's coming out very, very soon to essentially make 4-hour videos immediately. And there is no excuse to not at least give it a go and create a few ultra long form channels. Come into my Discord next week and tell me, Blake, I am making 5K a month. Now, of course, the only justification you can kind of have for spending money as of right now is of course editing costs and channel managers to be exact. Yes, later in the future when you are making 10, 20, 30K a month, then what I obviously do to scale all of my channels is hire a channel manager to go ahead and kind of handle all these other processes I'm talking about. So rather than you doing the script writing, doing the voice acting and kind of funneling it all through AI, you can simply hire somebody to handle all those processes. But of course, don't be lazy. That can be done later down the line once you've already got that proof of concept and you're already making 10K a month. Now, of course, you will need to do editing in some cases and the majority of cases, in which case simply go on Upwork, set a fixed price, whether it be $20 a video, $40 a video, whatever niche you might be getting into, and work out a long-term bulk deal with your specific editor. Yes, guys, if you want to go ahead and book a call directly with myself and my team, check out start.intervault.co, book a completely free call. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. Once again, it's a super cool community where we all sort of network. Without further ado, I will see you all in the next video. I hope you learned something new. Have a great day.